All right, chat. Today I wanted to talk about Supergirl. I wasn't originally gonna make this. I was gonna kind of just combine this with another video that I had. But I'm just gonna do that after. So yeah, because I ended up having way more thoughts than I thought. So yeah. So I watched Supergirl for the second time last week with my little brother. He liked it. He thought it was good. He gave it a. For some reason, he likes to rate things out of 1,000 instead of 10. But originally he gave it a 644. So 6.4, which is actually a pretty accurate rating in my opinion. I gave it like a 6. But and then I asked him if he liked Superman more, and he gave Superman a 997 and then Supergirl a 995 or something like that. So I guess he really likes Supergirl again. I don't know. But yeah, it's not really about his review. I just wanted to say that. So yeah, we got some bullet points here, so let's talk about it. Boom. Okay, so starting off with the good. The cast. As everyone says, the cast is great. You know what I'm saying? You got Millie. Millie is a great Supergirl. I love her as Kara. She's actually really good. Wish she had some better material to work with, but with what she had, she was good. I'm really excited to see her in Man of Tomorrow. Lobo was he was cool. He was cool. Not as cool as I was expecting. It kind of did just feel like Jason Momoa, which it is, but like Jason Momoa kind of plays himself in most of the movies. You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't as cool as I was hoping, and also he didn't really do anything. Like he kind of just randomly showed up. It's like when they needed him to help, when the plot needed him to help, he was just there. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. But yeah, he was still cool though. And then David as Soups, bro, just solidifying himself as peak casting. Like genuinely, every time he showed up on screen, it's just like the whole theater, I could feel it. It was just like, oh, he's back. What? He's just such a jolly, good old dude. You know what I'm saying? He's such a chill guy. You know what I'm saying? He was awesome. And then, I'm forgetting the actress's name. Eve Ridley. I think she played Ruthie. She was good. You know, child actress. So, you know, not amazing, but still. She was good. She did her job. Now, another good thing about the movie is all the Argo City stuff. Once again, everyone says that. So, yeah, all the Argo City stuff was good. I feel like it could have been better, for sure. For example, visually, they could have made it look way more interesting. It was very washed out and pretty dull, in my opinion. But, you know, sure, why not? I guess we didn't spend that much time there, so it's fine. I feel like they could have extended that sequence a bit more. Really make you care about the relationship between Kara and her mom and dad. So don't get me wrong, it still got me a little bit when she got shipped off and you see like the shot of her dad looking through the window and then it pulls all the way out and then goes out through the force field into space. I thought that was a really cool visual. That was a solid visual. Another positive thing, the score. The score is actually really cool. Because that's one thing I was worried about with the movie is because they had 3 different composers within the span of like 7 months, I think, because initially it was supposed to be Junkie XL, Tom Holkenberg, who did a lot of Zack Snyder stuff, like the Zack Snyder's Justice League. He did that, and I'm pretty sure he did Army of the Dead too, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, and he's a good composer too, because he did the score for the Flash when Barry reversed time in the Justice League movie. Dude, peak musical score. Oh my god. But yeah, so they had him, and then they had Ramin Djawadi, who does Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Fallout. I was like, oh my gosh, that's even better. I love his music. And then he jumped off, and I was like, no. And then they ended up with Claudia Sarna? I don't know. But she did good. I like Supergirl's theme. She has a nice, good, memorable theme. So yeah, some of the sets were cool. I liked some of the design of the stuff on Argo City. Like it felt not alien, but it felt like a regal, kind of like how Kryptonian things would feel, in my opinion, like how I see it. Because I picture Kryptonian tech and stuff like that very white and bright. You know what I'm saying? So they fit that vibe. I like that. And they have some cool shots. Like specifically one I'm thinking of is when Kara is going off of Bilky, the dying planet, right after that little girl gets killed by Krem, and she's like super angry, and then she like flies into space, breaks the sound barrier and the atmosphere barrier, and it's like, and you see her, it's like a nice wide shot panning up with her, and she's going up, and then the clouds are right here. She goes through the clouds, and it's like that. That's really cool. I like that visual. Now let's get into let's do the bad. Let's do the bad. Dude, Krem sucks. Even my 7-year-old brother could recognize that. He was so boring. I was like, yup, you're absolutely correct. He was a very boring villain. And I can see what Matthias Schoenaerts was trying to do. Like, I can see what he was doing, trying to do like the cool, kind of charismatic but goofy kind of villain, you know, but like weirdly threatening at the same time. But I agree. It was very Guardians coded, specifically the villains. They're very Ravagers like. And I don't know, it just didn't, like, I genuinely think it would have just been better to give him the original design. It would have been way easier on the actor, so he doesn't have to put all that shit on his face. And the fit was just a bit much. And I hate the ponytail. The ponytail is stupid. Why is he bald everywhere except for the ponytail? I hate that. I'm just nitpicking at this point. And then some of the song choices were interesting, specifically the one in the final battle. What are we doing, bro? And apparently that was James Gunn's choice too, which is, I'll get into that in a second, but it just didn't work. My brother liked it, shockingly enough. He was like, yeah, bro, it was cool. It was like she was saving the girl, she was protecting her. And I was like, I get it. But that song did not fit the rest of the soundtrack, I'm not gonna lie. And it didn't work with the scene, because the scene was so cool. Kara's beating ass, bro. Putting belt to ass on all of these, on the brigands, right? Krem, midair, spiral, corkscrew, slamming that motherfucker into the ground. That shit's awesome. She's swirling through the weird dust bowl that they're making with all their motorcycles. Belt, bro, it was awesome. The music was building. It was, it was just kept going up and up and up, ratcheting up the tension, and then it slows, goes into slow-mo, and then you hear some weak-ass piano start playing, and I'm like, stop, please. Okay, and I know I said some of the shots were cool. Notice I said some, and when I say some, it's less than you're thinking. Like I could probably name 5 memorable shots out of that whole movie, because visually it is pretty. I think that's the best. I think that's the most accurate representation I can say. Like, it's just, especially the final battle. Holy, and some of the green screen work, and that's the final battle was not great. Like when she's like flying into the camera, like it's not great. But you know, it's hard to make that look cool. So they should have just chose different shots. That's why I really like Superman, because they didn't do just the basic stuff. When they did that one shot where Supes was going like this, they did something different. They did a really wide angle lens, had it really close to his face, and then they pan around to the side. So they're doing something different. I respect that. I don't love it, but I respect it. And it also just looked better. Now the mid, literally just the movie. The movie is just aggressively mid. Because it's low-key a bad movie, bro. Like, because they could have done so much better if they just structured and paced it differently, okay? And some of the music was different. But they, like, because that's the thing. The whole thing with Crypto is supposed to be the emotional crux of the story, but it happens in the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie. You don't really, one montage of Kara and Crypto isn't going to make me be like, no. And you can't just go off of goodwill of, oh, it's a cute little dog, so you're going to feel bad no matter what. Sure, but it's like, we just met Kara, bro. We just met Kara. We got to focus on the human before we get to the dog. What? Like, bro. And don't get me wrong, the montage was good. I did like the montage. Could have done more, though. But yeah, there's actually this channel I was watching yesterday, and he said something, a filmmaking term that he made up called toast, where it's like just showing the general day-to-day mundane stuff that you wouldn't really, most people don't focus on in movies nowadays. And he says how Spielberg does that a lot, because he did that in Disclosure Day, where it's like literally Emily Blunt's character was making toast, grabbing the softened butter off the counter, pouring her pot of coffee, getting the stuff from the cupboard, you know what I'm saying? Showing that they live in that space, you know what I'm saying? And we got that a little bit with Supergirl in that opening sequence, but still. So yeah, and then like if you just move some things around, get Argo City, bring Argo City to the beginning of the movie, in my opinion, and then then go to Superman when she gets to Earth, then that's because then you've seen Baby Crypto and Kara meeting Baby Crypto at her mom's funeral, right? Okay, then you establish, oh, Crypto was there right when her mom died. You know what I'm saying? He was there to help her through that. And I'm like, yes, this is good stuff. The problem is, her finding Crypto was just a random flashback in like the middle of the movie. And then the funeral, but that scene happens during her mom's funeral, And we don't even get the backstory on the mom's funeral until like another 30, 40 minutes later. And I'm like, what? And then the scene with Clark getting Kara out of the ship happens in the third act, which is so weird. And the fact that they kept trying to nerf Kara so hard with like the kryptonite darts and then the green sun and then the poison milk and then just her being drunk or red sun. And don't get me wrong, yes, you want to provide obstacles for your characters, but if the only thing you can come up with is kryptonite-based things when it comes to a Superman character, dude, just don't have that happen. Have it be like more of a moral thing where it's like, oh, Kara literally can't do anything or else Krem will destroy half of this planet or something like that. Make it more something like that, so that way you don't have your character laying on the ground in the third act for like 20 minutes and you keep cutting back to her just unconscious thinking about her dog. And I'm like, dude, what are we doing? But yeah, that's pretty much just my general thoughts. Overall, after a second watch, first time I watched it, I think I gave it like a 6. And I might have been too generous. I usually am higher on movies when I first watch them. For example, I really loved Thor: Love and Thunder right out of the theater. And now, 4 years later, I fucking hate that movie. But, yeah. So, Supergirl, I'd probably get like a 5.5, something like that. I don't know. It was okay. Not a great step. But I'm just going to consider this the Incredible Hulk of the DCU, which shouldn't be happening. Because allegedly the script was amazing, but you know how it goes. Filmmaking, it takes a village to make a movie, and a good script cannot just completely carry a movie. You know what I'm saying? You got to put in the work to make it a good movie. And also, okay, one more thing. The warring director cuts that there are rumors of James Gunn and Craig Gillespie having 2 different versions of the movie because something wasn't working, and they figured that out pretty early on in post-production, and 8 days of reshoots didn't help that much either. But, yeah, respectfully, James, get your house in order. Look, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job because I don't. But I feel like, and John Campea said this, I feel like you might be better fit to just go back to focus on directing only. Because I don't know if you're cut out for the whole CEO thing. Like, I'm really not trying to be mean. I'm just saying I want the best universe possible. We need a thriving DC universe. We had an amazing Peacemaker. We had an amazing Superman. We had an amazing Supergirl character, just not an amazing Supergirl movie. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited for Lanterns. Lanterns looks amazing. Clayface looks awesome. So yeah, I have hope. The DCU is not dead. We're good. See ya.